Well, this is my latest project. Is a 1942 International Harvester TD6. These internationals are quite unique, really. They got petrol starting, as you can see, it's carburetor on the manifold there, and it's also a diesel engine, so it's got extra valves in the cylinder head, which decreases compression ratio to start on petrol. Then by operating the levers in correct sequence, you can actually turn it over to diesel for diesel operation. This machine has already been sort of part restored. There's a couple of jobs with the engine running. I'm not 100% happy with it as yet. I may do a decoke on the cylinder head. The major job on this one was the steering clutches, which I started yesterday after not working this machine for a number of years due to other machines turning up. This is a closer look at the steering clutch compartment. As you can see, I have cleaned them out a bit. That's the brake band on the top, and that's the right down steering clutch with the actuating arm down there. This bit here is the actual for the clutch levers, which have been disconnected. Is to release the clutch, brake applies to steer the tractor in the desired direction. This one is fitted with a nice PTO. As you can see, the PTO shaft and the crown wheel in the centre compartment there. Next job is to remove these brake bands, which I reckon this hasn't been apart for a very, very long time. The machine actually hasn't run for nearly 8 years when I bought it, so it's a tidy project, but not the best job on a crawler. Steering clutches can be a knuckle bashing, frustrating little job. It's essential to mark up all the parts, particularly the drive plate there on the steering clutch itself, because on most of them these bolt holes here are not equally spaced, so you've got to make sure that they go back in the right order. The next job to do on this one is brake band removal, which is this bit here, which is going to be disconnected from underneath. That pin removed there, that's spun right back, which is hard against them at the moment, so to remove them. Next job is to disconnect these bolts here, remove this shaft here, which is held on the bottom, so this should pull it the way, lift out. That's going to come off there. There's another ring of bolts with a lock wire behind there going to come off, and I think there's a row of bolts here is going to come off, and then it's a matter of wiggling it past this opening to lift out. And believe you me, these clutches are quite heavy. The best thing would be a pull lift or a engine hoist will be the ideal, but we're going to rig up some sort of scaffolding and a rope to pull these out. This is the last major job to do on this particular machine. As you can see, the top plate over there and the fuel tank has been removed yesterday. I blocked up the machine high so I can rotate the tracks. We're using the starting handle, so the machine's about 4 inches off the ground. I don't know if you can check down there. I've actually put blocks in there on the spring plank to stop, to lock it up rigid, so the whole lot lifts up rigidly and stays there, which is safety is the most important thing. I've blocked up the back end so I can get access from underneath to get the brake band adjusters slackened right off and removed. So this is a nice little project, but like all crawlers, they're not the easiest to work on. I find sometimes the bigger the machine, the better it is to work on. These little ones can play up. I removed this top plate yesterday. I had a bit of trouble removing the dowels which fit in there with a spray and a lot of persuasion with a Stilson's. I managed to rotate them and pull both of them out. There's one there and one over this side. It's not a bad project actually, but I will be glad, I must admit, to see this machine running after I've had it now quite a number of years. but as you can see, the other projects tend to take over. 2 rollers, another drot, and a D4 dozer, so I shall keep you posted on the progress of this machine. I've renewed all the bolts on the underframe, on the track rollers, and I've actually renewed one top track idler, track roller, this top one here. The one that come off it was worn so bad, it was down to the bolt holes. I repaired the guards. It has a coat of red oxide just to protect it, and this machine also has radiator blinds. By turning that, you can operate the shutters on the front, which blocks off the airflow to the radiator and increases decreases the time it takes to warm the engine up. She tries to start on the starting handle, but it's just a jump and not a proper fire up as it should do. I've had it running on petrol and diesel, and she runs quite good with good oil pressure. So that's it for now. I shall give a progress report in the near future on the removal.